back to Girls Unscripted. We're your hosts, Carolyn Murdoch,
Kate Riccio. And Carolyn, I think we should do something a little crazy this episode.
Please do tell.
I think we should start with a shot.
That is crazy. That's a crazy idea. And I will say we've had long days.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea.
It's almost as if we didn't talk about this before.
It's almost like it's completely spontaneous and spur of the moment.
Wow, brand new
bottle of tequila. Coming from where?
This is the best tequila ever. We are not sponsored. 21 seeds, cucumber, and jalapeno. If you'd like to sponsor us, please.
You could be. So my mouth is still healing. So if I sound a little strange, that's why. Pop. Woo!
It's like champagne.
Nice. But don't make them too big.
I would never.
Because I'm a wussy.
I'd literally never. We're in our 30s.
Also, last time I slammed them for doing shots, and yet here I am.
Oh my God, we literally talked about that last episode.
To be fair, I was impressed that they did it.
We were like, who does shots of tequila?
We asked the audience to tell us who does shots. We didn't have to look far.
Cheers to a tough week and an even tougher Vanderpump episode to watch.
Cheers to that, my friend.
Ew, it was warm. Well, not ew. Still want the sponsorship. It was really good. It's just tequila. It's tough. We're making a mixie.
We're just preparing for Coachella next weekend.
Now that we've taken our shot, it's time for us to tell you guys the bad news. Carolyn, take it away.
We love this podcast more than anything in the entire world.
We're not quitting.
And we're not quitting, but we are going to have a bye week next week because we are all super cool as fuck and going to Coachella weekend 2, which isn't as cool as weekend 1, but that's okay.
Hey,
it's still going to be really cool. But here's how our podcast works. So we record the shows on Tuesday. We record Wednesday night. Wednesday night and Thursday day, our producer Rachel edits away like a crazy little wizard, and then we give our notes, and then we have the turnaround with the final cuts. It's a process.
And then on Friday we have to do all the posting and making sure everything is uploaded. Basically from Wednesday to Friday, it is like constant work.
It's just a lot.
And we've decided to reward ourselves, and just since we don't have any sponsors or anything, we can take a bye week. So we decided to take a bye week. We're going to be posting a lot more on social media, though. Some of our favorite clips that we've never posted from previous episodes. And we will miss you guys. But just know we will be back. Okay. And
better than ever.
And we're really sorry.
And we'll be sunburnt and refreshed.
But maybe we'll see Raquel on Sandoval's shoulders at Coachella.
Oh my God.
And we can report back. See, we're doing this for you.
Please. And let's say it's Tom Schwartz and let's make rumors happen.
I literally love rumors.
They're so great.
Speaking of our Vanderpump cast friends and foes, I know you know this. I was blocked by Jax Taylor.
Oh, yes. We should get into this up top, too.
This is my gabbity gab for
It's been a busy week for Girls Unscripted, primarily for Kate Riccio herself.
So last episode, we talked about this viral video that I had where I went to Jax's Studio City. He just so happened to go on a rampage on a microphone, and I just so happened to film it. And it just so happened to go viral, right? Got it. So the Friday after that, so that was on Tuesday. The Friday after that, the video's already been up, right? I had posted it on my TikTok and I had posted it on the Girls Unscripted Instagram. So I'm at Korean barbecue for a friend's birthday in Koreatown, I might add. And so
very
not
important.
But so not the Valley, not West Hollywood. Okay?
Oh yeah, not
so keep that in
the
mind.
normal spots.
And I'm telling the table the story of this video. And I tell the whole story. I'm like, yeah, Jax did this, Jax did that, Jax. Then my friend who's at the table tells me a story and he goes, yeah, and Jax is had the most toxic relationship with Jax and Stassi, and his relationship was so shit. But then I saw Jax, just to paint the picture that we were really talking about Jax.
Talking shit. Jax was on our shit list.
Jax, we were just really spewing it into the world. I am not exaggerating. I swear to God, not even 1 minute after we finished our stories about Jax, he walked into the restaurant, and I was sitting in the front room that only had maybe 8 tables. It wasn't the big main room. And
Did he see you?
Well,
okay, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Ask the question.
Okay, I'll ask. Did he see you?
Because let me get into it. So he walks in with none other than Max motherfucking Williams, who we've been talking about as well. When he walked in, I was facing the doorway, and I literally was I looked at him. I was like, oh oh my God. And I flipped out like a rookie, like a scrub. But I wasn't flipping out because it was a famous person. I was flipping out because I was just talking about him. Like, you could have walked in. If I just spent 30 minutes telling a story about you and then you walked in, I would have had the same reaction.
It is synchronicity.
Because it was
serendipitous.
It was crazy, but he definitely saw me freak out, and I probably looked like a big ass fangirl. And then him and Max sat down at the table right next to me, sat there for about 5 minutes, and they were on their phones the whole time. Did not talk, did not say a word. Asked the waiter to move tables, and then they moved into the main room. And I'm looking at my friends at the table. I'm like, you guys, he asked to move because of me. Like, I know he did. And they're like, Kate, get the fuck over yourself. He did not ask to move because of you. He doesn't know who you are. Like, you're fine, blah, blah, blah. But I was like really in my head about it. I'm like, I could just sense that like something was up. Like, he was not fucking with me. He did not like me. So then I go home and I'm laying in bed and I go, oh, I wonder if Jax like posted anything from the Korean barbecue. I'm like, I can't find his Instagram. Naive me texts all my friends and I'm like, oh my God, guys, drama. You'll never believe this. Jax deleted all his social media.
Kate. Oh my God.
I've never been blocked, as far as I know.
Rookie mistake.
And my friends were like, oh, they had the same reaction as you. They were like,
Are
oh,
you serious?
girl. They were like, you have been blocked by Jax.
Holy shit. Okay, so do you know when he blocked you? Was it before or after Korean barbecue? Do we know that?
So I was really in my head about it. And I felt really guilty. I was like,
you
and
did.
Look,
you took it hard.
I did. I was texting you. I'm like, I just like feel bad. Like, and look, I know it's Jax and he blocks everyone, but in my mind, he went out of his way to go, because I don't really post anything on Instagram, like my TikTok. Like my Instagram is just like personal. So I was like, he went out of his way to find me and block me. And it felt bad. Like, I don't want anyone to not like me, you know? But then when I really, I slept on it and I really thought about it. And what I think happened was I had also posted that video of him on Girls Unscripted. I think he blocked Girls Unscripted. And as we've learned from the pilot episode of Vanderpump Rules season 11, when you block one person like Scheana and it asks, do you want to block all accounts? You can click yes. And that's why Sandoval has Summer Moon blocked. So I think he blocked Girls Unscripted and said yes to blocking all accounts because our producer Rachel was also blocked. So it wasn't like quite as a hit on me. He probably has no idea what I look like. But for what it's worth, I am taking a sabbatical from Jax's Studio City. Next time I go in there, I will be wearing a hat and sunglasses.
Kate, you got to face your fears.
I need to give it a couple weeks. But I do like that bar.
I agree with you. I think Jax blocked Girls Unscripted because Rachel was blocked and we were blocked. So he would have to block you, then Girls Unscripted. But I do think he saw your video.
Oh, because there's no way he didn't.
So viral. And that I told you last night on Scheana, Watch What Happens Live, she all like references it, sort of.
Someone else texted me separately and said that the video was referenced on Watch What Happens Live. It was so subtle. I don't know if it was, but I fucking wish that I would have had enough wherewithal at some point in that video to like put the camera on me and be like, Kate Riccio here reporting live. Because the fact that like all these Vanderpump people have seen it, but no one knows it's me.
Yeah, that's why I think it was
breaks
Girls
my
Unscripted
heart.
too.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, but still, I am blocked by Jax. I know a lot of you. I posted a TikTok about it, and the comments were crazy. People are like, "Oh, I'm blocked by Ariana. I'm blocked by Sandoval." Like,
it's more common for them to block people than you think. I think it's like their mental health.
I would do the same thing.
I don't even think Jax thought about it. I think he saw the video and was like, oh, here's another Stan account block.
That's true.
But
it was the whole Korean barbecue switching tables.
I didn't know that. And that does make me reconsider what actually happened that night.
It was tough.
That is crazy. And then our friend saw
Max Boyens
the next night.
Our friend Johnny, who we talk about on this podcast a lot, literally sent us a photo and was like, tell me this is not Max Boyens, like behind my friend. Saw Max Boyens the next night. Like,
it was.
They're all over.
It's crazy. It's spooky. It's weird that you run into them so much.
Max Boyens gets around in more ways than one.
In more ways than one.
Vanderpump aside, do you have any Gabbity? You sound great.
Thank you so much. I feel like I'm still like like biting marbles, but
You
besides
can
that, it's
hear
great.
it a little bit.
It's like I have like a little, like I'm like kid a little bit, like with a speech impediment.
Oh yeah, or like you have a retainer in.
Or yeah, it feels like we're that's what it feels like, because it's like just right here. But besides that, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, and you look great.
Rewatching the episode last week, I was like, oh my god, I could have made that story literally 30 seconds. They cut my artery, but it was like.
Oh, you don't say that you could have shortened that story. You don't say.
I was like, why am I dragging this on?
Hey, it was funny. Hey, people, you were gone for 2 weeks. The people wanted to know.
Everyone was just on their toes.
They didn't need to know.
They did not need to know.
But now they know.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
We're closer now.
Some people are into that shit. Like, I watched Summer House this last week, and when West takes the bandage off of his nose after he got hurt.
Oh yeah, Paige
like,
wants to see
Paige
it.
like sprinted over. She's like, "Let me see."
Yeah,
like that could not be further from me, baby.
I think I'm there now. Just because
I think you are
some
too.
shit.
I think you are.
Some
Okay,
shit.
I gotta say the mixed drink with the tequila is hitting way better than the shot.
Oh, did you do it?
Oh yes, I made you one.
When I'm talking, sometimes I get scared that I'm bleeding, so I'm like,
why did you have to say that?
I know, I'm so sorry. So if I sound weird and I we can cut that out.
Well, anything else happened to you this week? Any guess?
March Madness.
March Madness. Do you watch basketball? It's the furthest thing from my mind.
Oh, I love March Madness.
Okay, who's your team?
Virginia.
Oh,
duh.
That's
Go Who's. But we got out. We didn't even make it to the tournament, so that was a moot point. But NC State, who took us out, went all the way to the Final Four. It was a good good time. And Alabama, who I also root for, went very far as well. So there was some good stuff going on.
I almost wanted that to be a really long rant about basketball and have me take my headphones off again and
you
plug my
plug
ears.
your ears.
Like I just can't listen to this. But that's good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much.
I feel bad for Virginia.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you love something.
Well, can I? Okay.
Go ahead.
Well,
hey, the people the people wanted Gabbity. That's what they're getting.
This is my Gabbity. It's so sad. This is my Gabbity. But Virginia, if you recall, since you're so avid and basketball fan, they lost. They were the first team in history to lose as a #1 seed. Basically, they were like one of the best teams. They lost in the first game. The next year, they came back and they won the entire championship.
Wasn't that kind of recent?
That was like 2019.
Yeah, I did. I remember that.
Yeah. So hopefully now it means we'll be back next year, baby.
What's it? A who? A what? An owl?
Hoo-hoo. A Go Who's.
Like a who's?
Hoos.
What's a who's?
A who? That's a great question.
It's not a Hoosier. That's another team.
That's Indiana.
What's your mascot?
The Cavalier.
But you're a who's.
Yeah, it's a strange.
Sports do not make sense. Go who's.
But if you ever hear my husband say, he says go who's with about any life event that occurs. Like goes to the bathroom, go who's. They win basketball, go Who's.
He's one of those.
He dressed up, don't cancel him. He was dressed up as Thomas Jefferson for every football game.
Why?
Because
I don't know anything about Virginia or Who's.
I realized without context that would make no sense.
Cool, Kyle.
We never talk again.
All right, now on to the show.
Okay, on to the show. Let's go on to the show.
No, why? What is Thomas Jefferson? Is he from Virginia?
He founded the school.
Oh.
And so he's like a big mascot there. But now that's kind of like not as cool because he owned slaves and stuff. So.
Wow.
Don't judge him.
Way to bring it down.
I am so oh my God, I'm the worst. Let's get into it.
No, hey, you got to speak the fact. That was fun.
That was
all
so
the
fun.
ladies that are listening, use that knowledge on your man tonight.
They scrubbed right through that.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And that brings us to Beach Day.
Well, the end of Beach Day. I did think that Brock standing up for Tom in front of Ariana was like literally so wrong.
Yeah.
I normally am like, yeah, Brock, you speak facts. But for that, I'm like, she's allowed to be mad. Like, we do talk about this on Girls Unscripted all the time. But is it really that hard for these people to wrap their head around the fact that, like, Ariana is mad at her partner for cheating on her? Like, hello?
And for him to have the audacity to sit there and say things about her, like that was the only bill that Ariana ever paid. As she said, what did they think was going to happen? What did they want her to do?
Right.
Smile?
Right. It's just
laugh. Like,
what did they? How did they want her to react?
Yeah, you know, if that was LaLa, it would be like World War III.
Like, she could have acted two ways. She could have acted the way that she acted, or she could have been like, yeah, you guys are right. She's not going to say that.
The girl that's fighting for her house to the nail. She's not going to just back down.
Yeah.
So
It's like, why is it allowed to be Tom's dream house, but not Ariana's dream house?
I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of teared up.
Okay, well, let's just go right into that scene because they go to the waterfront after that, and there is a lot to unpack there. And Scheana, Ariana, and LaLa do have this pretty deep conversation where Ariana really opens up. And I do think it was good for us as a viewer. I felt horrible for her. But it's so easy for her to seem like she has this tough exterior.
Like she has stone.
And nothing bothers her and she doesn't give a fuck. And that kind of helps drive Tom's point of well, we were pretty much broken up anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it almost was nice. Again, I feel bad for her. But it was nice to see her kind of break down to just kind of remind us she's hurting, you guys.
And as she said, this is traumatic.
It is traumatic. And no one seems to be taking it seriously. And if I were in her shoes, I would almost feel okay, obviously my friends aren't fucking siding with me. So I almost have to cry in front of them.
Yeah.
I have to break down in front of them.
Especially if she was double teamed by by Scheana and LaLa, who she already knows has weirdness against her about how she's handling the whole situation. I felt really bad for her.
I felt really bad for her too. And it seemed like Scheana and LaLa were receptive, and LaLa even applauded her for the way that she handled it. And it was so sweet until we get to later in the episode.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
In her face, they're they could say good things. They act like good friends. And then, man, is whiplash.
It's literally as if they have amnesia and forget the conversations that they have. And then Scheana even does say fuck the materialistic things. You just need to get out of the house. It's I know she was just trying to be a good friend. I'm not going to fault her on that. But no. Why should she just leave everything because of what he did and leave all her shit behind?
I think what she's doing, and I hope she watches this, Ariana, I think she's setting a great example for strong ass women because that is not an easy thing to do. She's taking the long road so she can get what is rightfully hers. But it's not an easy decision. My family would freak the fuck out if I were still in that house.
Yes.
I don't know how they deal with it. But good on her for saying, no, it's not right. She was he thinks that I was going to pack a backpack and just walk on out of there.
She's supposed to escape in the night. He should have left that house and never came back.
Yeah.
He should be at her beck and call.
And for him to have the audacity to even come at her with bills or anything, still.
Not only that, how about when he threatened her and said she's in for a rude awakening when she gets her own place?
He brought up the batteries again.
I think this man thinks he's the only person in the world who's ever bought batteries.
I love that was worth breaking the fourth wall for the producer to be are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
you're going to get roasted for this.
Because he is out of his mind. He's out of his mind.
Victoria Lee Robinson. Why? I wonder
Victoria Lee Robinson.
Is that her name?
Oh, that is his girlfriend. Wow, that was a quick.
I just wonder, why? I don't know much about her.
I honestly don't care.
I don't care either.
But you know who I do care about?
Katie and Tori.
Yeah. And I care about the whole love triangle. It is Tori shows up to the waterfront. How convenient.
Oh.
It's weird. I will say, not to be rude, but she seems pretty thirsty to me, if I'm being honest. I think it's very obvious that producers were this is what you're gonna do, so you need to do it.
Well, this is what I'm saying. When you're new to reality TV, aka when you're 24, you don't know that you have human rights to push back on stuff.
Right.
When they insinuate that you should ham it up a little bit, you're okay, that's my duty.
But I don't think she wants to. I think she
loves it.
Yeah. And you know what? Tori, I'd love it too. If a producer came up to me and said, we want you to go on Vanderpump Rules, the biggest reality show on Bravo right now, and we want you to make out with Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney, I would say, I'll pay you. I'll pay you. That's fine. I don't even need compensation.
I am so grateful for the opportunity. Yes, please.
But I think that she must have taken acting lessons from whoever Scheana has taken acting lessons from, because she's horrible. Literally, she's sitting there and she's talking to Katie, and she's yeah, I never get nervous. I want to kiss you.
It felt like
you're cute.
It felt like panic speech.
Yeah. So it's like, look, all of us, we're not stupid. We're on the 11th season of this show. We know this is like a plant, but I don't mind. It's refreshing. It's fun. I don't care. I'm here for it. I loved watching Katie make out with her.
Can I say it is fun seeing the softer side of Katie?
I am absolutely loving Katie.
I'm like, man, you know what? I bet she is a really good partner.
And
like,
probably a good kisser, but I'll never know because producers never approached me and asked me to be in Tori's place.
I know you're upset about it, but like you've got to get over it.
I'm fine.
Scheana knew her for 10 years. Wait, okay, so the math on this did befuddle me. If Tori is 24 and Sheena's what, 38, 37? I don't know. And she's known Tori for 10 years. So when she was 27, she was hanging out with Tori when she was 14?
So I'm pretty sure Tori is friends with Sheena's little sister.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. But
that's messed up.
But see, it would feel more organic if that's the case. I'm not sure, but I would say I'm like 90% positive. Then Sheena's sister should have also came to the waterfront to make it seem more, I just invited my sister and she brought Tori. It's like, it is a little weird. Like, Tori is noticeably quite young. Yeah, like, and it's one thing for Katie to be making out with her, but for Schwartz, it's just weird, dude. It's weird.
And Schwartz is not into it, but that's okay.
They're both. I think Schwartz seemed more into it. We'll get to it. Than that girl at Sky Bar that literally grabbed him and was like, "You'll never kiss someone like me."
Oh God.
I can't wait to talk about that scene. Let's move on from the waterfront, but I will say we should go there sometime because I have been there one time and I liked it. It's fun.
Oh, I love the waterfront. My husband's corporate Christmas party was there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I'd like to go back. Then LaLa and Joe go to Taylor the Pup, which I just learned from TikTok. There is a secret tiki bar speakeasy in the back of that hot dog stand.
Where is this? I had never seen this before.
So this is actually a funny story. Oh, it's not that funny. Fuck. It's not that funny, but this is a story. I, for Halloween, dressed up as Scheana, and I went out in West Hollywood as Scheana. And I saw Kyle Chan. I'm like, I'm Scheana. And he's like, cool.
You said that to Kyle Chan?
I did. But anyways, moving on. I could not catch a fucking Uber out of there. So I walked back to my apartment, which isn't like crazy far. And I walked past Taylor the Pup. And I said the same thing that LaLa said. Like, how have I never seen this here the whole time?
It's in West Hollywood?
It's literally on Santa Monica and La Cienega. Yeah.
Is it behind something?
No, it's right on the sidewalk. It's like in between two buildings, but it's like literally on Santa Monica Boulevard.
I'm like going there tomorrow. That's wild.
Yeah, the hot dogs look good.
Yeah. I liked the cheese dog.
But they do have a secret speakeasy tiki bar in the back of there. Which
Shut up.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
Add it to the list.
Really the only note I had about this scene, because we really talk more about this scene when Katie is brought into it when they're at the dive bar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Joe saying she didn't know about Sandoval and Raquel is blasphemy. And if she actually didn't know, I've never even used the word blasphemy. Yeah. Did I use it correctly?
You did.
If she
It's blasphemous.
It's blasphemous. And what she's saying is blasphemy.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Thank you. And she better get her eyes checked. That was the end of my joke. I got distracted by the vocab.
No. You did I was just trying to yes and you, but I also thought it was absolutely wild. She just said a very roundabout way. It's not like I'm asking Sandoval what's up with him and his girlfriend, which is a crazy thing to say.
That is a really normal thing that you talk to someone about. How's Ariana? Like literally, whenever I see most of my guy friends, I will ask them how their girlfriends are.
You know when an opportune time would be to ask that question? When they're in Big Bear together with Raquel.
Or it's kind of like, I understand why she didn't have to ask, because she went to Ariana's house for Thanksgiving with her and Tom. So she never even had to ask because she literally saw the two of them together. So she knew that they weren't broken up. So next they go to Topgolf. And you know how Kristen and Ariana became really good friends on Vanderpump Rules, but we never really like got to see it unfold. Just like
who?
Kristen and Ariana. This is like a separate thought.
Kristen
Doty.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought you were making.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm making a comparison.
Yeah.
So Kristen and Ariana became super close friends, but we never really got to see it like unfold on Vanderpump. Right. They just like were friends. That's how I feel about James and Katie. Like, I feel like James and Katie are, like, super tight.
Sleeper friends.
And even in the after show, like, James is always, like, standing up for Katie. And, like, yeah, good for Katie. It's like, we didn't really get to see it unfold, but I'm happy that it's happened.
I like the vibe between them.
Yeah, they seem like...
I like Katie.
But I understand Katie not liking old James, but liking new James. Yeah. Old James was a bit tough to like. Yeah, so that's fair.
Who could? I loved James's confessional about like how weird the whole situation was.
The love triangle.
Because it is fucking weird. Oh, I noticed that Katie said she would rather eat a leather jacket.
And then she say denim jacket last time.
She did, so I wrote that down.
Yeah, I know you loved that.
Just to notice it. Maybe that means she would eat a denim, but not a leather. You know, read between the lines.
When they were at Topgolf, I thought that this was going to be an episode where I would have been to everywhere that they went to. Because it's like, I've been to Venice Beach. I've been to the waterfront. I've been in the hot dog stand. I've been to Topgolf. I'm like, damn, I've been to every single place that they've been to. And then they go to the sperm bank. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I have not been to every place that they've been to this episode.
I was like writing the scene because I like write down where they are and who's there. And I was like, where are they? Cryobank. I thought it was going to be a cryotherapy thing. And I was like, oh, duh.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
It's a sperm bank.
I will say my boyfriend tried, this was like a long time ago before I even knew him, tried to donate sperm in LA, but it wasn't like accepted because of like a heart thing he had or like something.
Did he want the money or was he trying to be nice?
The money for sure.
Oh my God.
But looking back, I'm so glad
he didn't.
That he didn't, because what if LaLa chose his? And that's all I could think about the whole time they were this sperming. I'm like, what if like Dan was LaLa's baby's father? That would be crazy. So if you out there have either donated sperm or know someone that did in LA, you might be LaLa's baby daddy.
You're glad that didn't happen? I'm upset that didn't happen.
I can't co-parent with
We
LaLa.
would have a seat at Thanksgiving dinner. Like
it would be me, LaLa, and Amber Childers or whatever the fuck Randall's ex-wife's name is. At least I'd be in the crew.
Oh my God, that's too funny. I didn't have many notes about the sperm donor scene. It's pretty straightforward.
It is just like, yeah, until LaLa and Scheana decide to just talk so much shit on Ariana because Ariana's not in front of them, and LaLa's saying, you're choosing to stay in the house so I don't feel bad. They are not on Ariana's side. Like 1 minute they're crying at the waterfront saying like, oh, I totally get it. I totally see where you're coming from. And then the next, just talking shit behind her back.
But isn't that such like an homage to girl friendships? Like, I mean, if your friend is crying at the waterfront and you were there, you're going to say whatever you think you should say in the moment to make her feel better.
If my friend is crying at the waterfront, well, look, I've been told I'm a tough love friend.
Oh, that's good though.
If my friend is crying at the waterfront over something that I think is dumb, I will be there for her, but I will be like, it's crazy that you're crying over this right now. And I'm sorry, but I will be that way. But if I was Ariana's friend and she's crying over something that is real, you cannot deny what she is crying over is real.
Yep.
I would not go and then, how could you talk shit about that?
Her back.
How could you bitch about that?
That was rude.
These two are doing anything they can to stay relevant, and that includes siding with whoever will keep them relevant. And they do not want Ariana to have a main character storyline. They're jealous.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't even know if it's a relevancy thing. I think LaLa's just genuinely pissed for some reason. But what would be the reason? Jealousy.
I don't understand how LaLa can ride so hard for Ariana at the season 10 reunion and say the things that she said about Sandoval to Sandoval to then 9 months later be Sandoval's best friend and be against Ariana. And I did a TikTok live and I told them I would shout them out on the podcast. So if you were in my TikTok live today, Jamie, Megs, I see you.
We love you.
We talked about this a lot on the live, and someone made a really good point that just 4 episodes ago, LaLa was calling Tom Sandoval a groomer.
Yep.
And now Ariana's the crazy one?
We've always said this about LaLa, though. This is what she does. She can get like extremely upset about one thing, and then the next day it'd be like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to her. Like it is. Talk about whiplash. Like, woo, girl.
She does give
Stick with it. Stick with an opinion. I do. It makes it really hard to defend her because I like LaLa and I want to defend her, but she doesn't stay consistent.
I like LaLa as a human being. I do not like LaLa as a friend. Yeah. I think she's a good friend to certain people. I think she's a great friend to Scheana.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, her and Ariana were never fucking friends. She decided to ride for Ariana at the end of season 10 because why? Ariana could keep her relevant. She got invited to the White House with Ariana and Lisa.
Made a merch line.
Made a merch out of it. She clung to who she thought was going to be relevant. Now she's seeing Tom Sandoval maybe has more of a future on this show. I'm going to cling to him now.
But I also think, I feel like there's something else because you wouldn't have that kind of wrath she had at the reunion were it not personally offensive to her at some level. And maybe it's just because it was triggering because of Randall, but like she wasn't acting that. She was fucking mad.
Okay, so my friend Elizabeth Passmore, I always got to give shout outs because like I will never take people's theories and like pretend like they're my own.
No, that'd be rude.
Because I don't plagiarize.
No.
But my friend Passmore had a really good point that LaLa likes to take people down. And when this whole thing happened with her and Randall, what did she do? They came out with a documentary on Hulu. And what is Randall doing now? Living his life in LA.
Yeah.
Just living day to day. He's fine. It doesn't matter. And I think LaLa wants what Ariana wants. Wants what Ariana has. And since she didn't get that, no matter how hard she tried to break Randall down, it's fully just her like being envious and jealous. So now she's trying to break Ariana down.
I could see that.
She wants to come out on top no matter how hard she's trying. Also, apparently, this is like a side note, she revealed the gender of her baby on Amazon Live before anything.
I saw that. I was like, oh my God, payday.
What kind of like Illuminati hold does Amazon Live have over LaLa Kent?
It's called Money. Dollars.
LaLa, if you're being like held against your will, like wear yellow in your next Amazon Live. Remember when people used to do that to Britney Spears? Wear yellow in your next video.
Brittany, just do it. But I mean, like they pay them a lot. Like Kyle Richards was on Amazon Live a
Paige
ton.
DeSorbo's on it like
Paige
every week.
loves Amazon Live. It's where shit goes down. It's like the dark horse of Gibbity Gab gossip.
It's literally like the evening news. Watch what happens live. Amazon Live.
And TikTok's like somewhere in the middle there.
The only thing I said about the whole hair color scene, and I wrote it in all caps, is I like Tom's blonde hair, sue me.
Wow.
I'm really alone. I didn't like it at first, but once it like got toned a little better, and like I think a couple episodes in, I liked it. I liked the bleach blonde male hair renaissance that happened over this summer.
Well, you'll be hearing from my attorney because I absolutely will be suing you.
I'm
criminal.
No, I'm the minority. I know.
He looked awful.
I don't think he looked
it
that
looked
bad.
so bad. So much so that I was like, oh, I feel bad for Joe's career. Like, this is not going to be good for her hairstyling career.
Some people are like, she did that on purpose because he was making a fool out of her. I mean, her hair's kind of the same color.
Yeah. I mean, oh God, the whole scene was cringe to me.
But I like the blonde. I don't really care.
Dad bodkin.
Is the next scene the dates?
Yep.
I have literally nothing to say about these, quote, dates with Tori, Tom, and Katie because they're fake as fuck and they honestly, they just don't deserve my thoughts. I'm going to savor my thoughts for the rest of the episode.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to add on to that.
You can say,
we got to move on.
You can say something.
It's a note that I've already said. I really like seeing the softer side of Katie.
Yeah, that's true.
It made me want to paint.
It did make me
Sue me.
paint. I'd love to paint with Katie.
I love to paint with you.
We should do that sometime.
We should.
That was sweet. I could feel that.
Boop.
Oh my God, she touched my nose.
I don't know. Maybe this is gonna be a thing now.
This is like the Tori and
This
Katie
is Tori and Katie
of Girls Unscripted. Oh my God.
Don't tell
It's because we took a shot.
It really is.
I was telling the TikTok live, I was like, if we're acting goofy, it's because we're drinking. I was like, we're drinking today.
It is late, and I would rather be nowhere else, to be honest.
All right, then the ladies make a superstar Quentin Tarantino entrance into a dive bar that I looked up is in a strip mall in the valley.
I was gonna ask. I literally asked, where
I
are
looked
they?
it up because I thought it was a cool look. I love a dive bar.
Me too.
But
I was like,
yeah.
maybe it was the Dime, and I was like, no, it's like a.
Oh, the dime.
But is that even still around?
Yes, I live right by it.
Oh my God.
Also, for those of you who don't know, the Dime, the Dime has a Vanderpump connection.
I'm not surprised.
So the Dime is a dive bar in LA. It's on Fairfax. Stacy, the bartender from The Hills, worked at the Dime. That's where Spencer met her. Stacy and Scheana are friends.
Yeah.
Scheana was on the hills.
Scheana was on the hills.
There you have it.
Let the case rest.
Yeah. We've rested our case.
We've rested our case.
Our blasphemous case. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it right for Katie to be upset at LaLa for going out with Joe?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes.
I think so too. I think, imagine if Katie went out. Imagine if they were trying to make one of Randall's exes a storyline and then Katie decided to like befriend that person.
There's no justifying it. It doesn't make any sense.
I also think it's less about like, why are you like hanging out with Joe, but more about like, why is Joe getting such a fucking storyline?
Yeah.
It's one thing if she's connected to Schwartz. Sure, Allie did a scene with her, but it's Allie. She's not really a long-term friend,
They're
right?
both introduced in this season.
They both want screen time.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
But for LaLa, I would be pissed too if I were Katie, like, why? So I think when she was really questioning her, it wasn't so much like, it was more so like, why are we giving her more screen time?
I also felt I would feel really betrayed. Like she went behind my back. It's a thing to go film with someone. I mean, there was a call sheet. They had a time. They had to do all this stuff. And all this was going on with Joe. And she had no idea.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we just like got like.
Oh, yeah. Like, I ran into her at the hot dog stand.
Yeah, it was a little silly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote in all caps, yet again, Scheana and LaLa have zero loyalty. I think this is in terms to like, in regard to the whole Joe thing.
Mm-hmm.
LaLa just wants to be relevant. You don't get lunch at a hot dog stand with Joe unless you're trying to be relevant on DPR.
But she's softer, Kate.
Okay. People on my live were asking me how I felt about that. What does that mean?
What does that mean? I have no fucking idea. I can't even give you a theory. I guess it's because she's like looking for a sperm donor.
I think she's saying I'm being softer as her way of saying like, it's her way of validating her being friends with Sandoval again.
Yeah.
She's saying I'm softer now. I'm trying. Basically, if I could decipher it, I'm trying to be the bigger person. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to hear everybody out. I'm softer. Really what that means is I need to be friends with everybody on this show because I need to secure my spot on whatever spinoff.
Well, now that you say that, who was the first one to apologize to Rachel?
Exactly.
Who was the first one to like kind of get on good terms with Sandoval? Like she is making the rounds.
Yeah. So I think the softer thing is just an excuse to like, if anybody like calls her out for like, well, you're hanging with Sandoval, you're hanging with Joe, you're texting me, it's like, yeah, because I'm softer now.
Yeah. That's actually crazy.
So it's not a season of Vanderpump Rules without a Sky Bar appearance.
Without the Mondrian.
Imagine going to a singles event and seeing both the Toms there.
Who would you go for?
Schwartz.
Absolutely.
You know, but I did see both the Toms at Sky Bar one time.
You did, and Tom said something pre-Scandival.
This was pre-Scandival. It was like July of 2021. I was at Sky Bar, which they go to on Vanderpump Rules all of the time. And I was sitting
on and off camera.
On and off camera. And this was off camera, even though it was in the summer. And I was sitting like 2 tables over from them. And I was like, holy fucking shit. That is Tom and Tom. Like, that's crazy. And I'm like, I have to talk to them. But I didn't want to be a fangirl and talk about Vanderpump Rules. So I was like, what can I pull out of my memory that will just really stroke Sandoval's ego? So I complimented the cocktail book that him and Ariana did. So he was up at the bar and I was up at the bar and I was like, hey, by the way, like, love the cocktail book. I have a copy. I have a copy of it. I did love it. And he was like, oh, thanks so much. Like, what's your name? And I'm like...
That impression is...
And I'm like...
Beautiful.
I said, Kate. And he's like, oh, thanks so much, Kate. That's awesome. So whatever. So I met him. It was fine. Whatever. So then we go about our lives at the Mondrian. Didn't talk to Schwartz. Schwartz was there for like 2 seconds and left. I'm walking home. Yeah, I'm actually walking to Barney's Beanery from Sky Bar, which is now the fucking hottest bar in LA. Taylor Swift was just there.
She went to Barney's?
Yes. If Barney's Beanery is like where I would take my parents when they would visit from out of town because they're picky eaters and they just wanted an American restaurant.
It's like bar food.
Like, I don't know why it's like so cool. Tom Sandoval does
Sandoval
karaoke
loves
there. Yeah.
Barney's Beanery.
So anyways, we're walking to Barney's Beanery from Sky Bar.
That's crazy. Taylor went.
And I hear from above, Kate. And I look up. And it's Tom Sandoval yelling my name from a balcony.
He's so smooth.
And he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, Tom, what the fuck? And then he goes, I go. I'm like, I might as well just fucking. I'm like, we're going to Barney's Beanery, like down the street if you guys want to come. And he didn't really answer whatever. He went back into his balcony. We go to Barney's Beanery and we're there for like 10 minutes. And who the fuck do you think walks in?
Tom Sandoval.
Tom Sandoval, great guess.
That was a great guess.
So he walks in and we're like eating and I'm like at my table. I'm like, guys, what the fuck? Like, not like he actually came. So at the very end, I went up to like him and his friends. I'm like, hey, like you guys came. He's like, oh yeah, well, you know, we were like close by, whatever. He's like, you should come to Tom tonight. I'm going to be there. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, girls, I got an exclusive invite to fucking Tom from Tom himself.
That is wild.
We're gonna go. So then I go to Tom at night. He's like swarmed by people because he was like cool back then.
Right.
Never ended up talking to him. It is what it is. The night ended. Fine.
Thank God.
I told so many people that story and they were like, Kate, he was trying to fuck you.
I was gonna say, thank God you would have been in a really uncomfortable situation.
I'm like, guys, he would never do that to Ariana. He would never do that to Ariana. Like
did we know?
I rode so hard for this man who was yelling my name from a balcony.
To this guy.
I rode so hard for him.
Oh, that is wild.
Hey, man.
Would you turn him down back then?
So at this time, I had just gotten out of my shitty 6-year-long relationship that I do talk about on this podcast every now and then.
It didn't end prettily.
And I was maybe broken up for a week and I was like on the prowl. I was like looking to hook up.
Looking to tear.
But I still, my parents listen to this.
That's okay.
But I still wouldn't have gotten with Tom Sandoval because I like Ariana.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would have gotten with Tom Schwartz.
Was he with Katie at the time?
Yes. And I love Katie, but Tom
That's
Schwartz
really
is
honest of you.
Tom Schwartz, there's just something about him. Like, I just think he's so cute. But the guilt I would have felt so guilty. I probably would have ended up DMing Katie and been like, I hooked up with.
Oh, God.
So I don't know if that makes me a good person or a bad person. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk shit on Joe when I've considered, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have actually have gotten with Tom Schwartz, but I just think he's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think I would have made out with Tom Schwartz. I don't think I would have gone all the way.
Would you made out with Sandoval?
No, I actually wouldn't have. I'm like, he's not for me.
Okay. Doesn't he smell?
You know, I've heard that. I did not clock that.
Okay.
Okay, but
that makes me feel a
we
little
were
bit better.
outdoors and like at a pool.
I'm just like, I see him and I cringe a little bit. I'm like, oh, God.
There's just so many bad stories. But look, I got to say, he was nothing but nice to me. I don't know.
Well, we all know why.
We all know why. And you know, while I'm just fucking yapping stories out at you guys, this is like a quick one. I'm really taking my spotlight today.
The stage is yours.
But so Craig, Tom's new assistant, I know a little bit of backstory about Craig. So Craig worked at Tom. When they did the episode where they interview people to work at Tom, Craig was one of the people that got interviewed.
Oh,
Here's
good
how,
memory.
But here's how I know that.
Okay.
Years ago, when I first broke up with my shitty ex-boyfriend, again, like I said, I was on the prowl.
Right.
No, I went to a bar called LaLa Hardware. They have like the hottest bartenders, and Craig was my bartender. And the only reason that I know for a fact that it was him is because I remember thinking, this guy looks like Joe Jonas. He's so hot. And I thought he was being kind of flirty with me. He gave me like a free drink and everything. I was like, I need to find this man. So I somehow managed to find him on Instagram.
Do you follow him? Did you follow him?
No. I didn't follow. He had like a gazillion followers. And I'm like, okay, I don't stand a chance. But then when I saw him on Vanderpump, so I knew pretty well like what he looked like. I was like, holy shit, that's the guy that I was in love with for 2 hours at LaLa Hardware. And now he's, quote, Tom's assistant, which I don't think that lasted very long because I'm pretty sure Tom now said his assistant is his cousin.
What?
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up. It's a revolving door.
Joe is obsessed with Tom and won't stop touching his hair.
Joe, sweet Joe.
Why did she go to a singles event with Tom Schwartz?
Why did she do that? And why did she get upset when he was acting as a single?
Because, and look, if it's true that they do say I love you to each other, I could understand her being like, I thought we were just here to support Sandoval. I went to a singles event before and I was not single. And I went with my friends just to like be there and help them and support them, whatever. And we got little stickers with the green, red, and whatever. So I could see her confusion. I just would love to know, like, really, like, what is the backstory between Joe and Tom? Like, what is true, what is not?
I kind of believe Joe.
I kind of believe
I kind of just like don't put it past Schwartz. Also, he like posted something that was like, "Man, get it together, Schwartz." That was a bad episode.
You know what? He probably does feel like an ass. Because I do say, like...
But how many times does he need to feel like an ass till he stops being an ass?
Well, look, here's the thing. Joe has watched Sandoval on television.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way she hasn't. There are 10 seasons of television.
Oh, you mean Schwartz?
Let me restart that. Joe has watched Sandoval on 10 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, being a shitty boyfriend, a shitty fiance, and a shitty husband.
You said it again.
Did I say Sandoval again? Oh my God.
I was like, am I having a stroke? Is she having a stroke?
I
Okay.
honestly am not even listening to what I'm saying.
Let's take it.
The
Let's
tequila.
try it again.
I must really be tequila. Okay. Okay. Joe has watched 10 seasons of Schwartz on Vanderpump Rules, being a shitty boyfriend, a shitty fiance, and a shitty husband. And she really thought, and ladies, we need to stop doing this.
Mm-hmm.
She really looked at that and thought, I can change him.
Mm-hmm.
So she went in, fresh after a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
The divorce papers were hardly signed. The ink was still wet.
Yeah.
And thought he would be different to her than he was to Katie.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the woman's fault. It's his fault.
Well, she thinks she's in this delusion that they have this chemistry that's just like storybook-esque. I think she really just thought, oh, I'm the one that can change him. Girls, that is such, we've all been there.
I'm different.
Yeah, like I'm different. I know he's like not the best track record, but like I'm different.
But I do understand it being really easy. Like this was the perfect example of how it's easy to call women crazy.
Yeah.
Because you could look at Joe and be like, she's crazy. Like Tom is literally saying he doesn't want a relationship, he doesn't want to hook up. But what he's saying in public versus what he's saying behind closed doors is probably completely different. And I don't think Joe was crazy to think that they had more than what they had. I think shit's a little crazy when they're having a serious conversation and in the middle she goes, but I don't think she's crazy and thinking that her and Tom were gonna like be a thing.
If they were still hooking up and they were saying I love you,
But
he
were
had
they
it coming.
But were they saying I love you, or but were they saying I love you, Joseph? Team Money, I love you.
Joseph, God, I love you. I bet it was like that.
How would it be? No,
Joseph,
no,
I
no, no.
love you.
No, it was. She said, "I love you, Tom," and he said, "I love you too, Joseph."
Yes,
Joseph.
yes, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Oh, Joseph, I love you
or
too.
this. Ready? I love you too, Joseph.
Yeah, I love you too. Love ya. He said, "Yeah."
Love ya. Love you, girly. Where were we?
Let's see. Oh, I said I do think there's masculine. Okay, blah blah blah.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you be friends with someone you used to date?
Okay, let's rephrase that question. Am I friends with anyone I used to date?
Okay, great.
Yes. Well, but it was like high school. I was 15. So that doesn't count. No.
I do think there's a null period, a statute of limitations.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone in like the last, like when you're like an actual adult relationship, it's kind of hard for me to answer because I moved to LA and had one relationship the whole time I was out here. And now I have another one. I'm not friends with that first man at all. But it's really hard. I think if you're in the same friend group and you guys broke up, I think if you're Katie and Tom, you can. I think if you're Ariana and Tom, you can't. I think if you broke up and you're on like amicable terms and you guys do have the same friends and no one necessarily did anything wrong.
Yeah.
No. Yes, you should be able to be friends and hang out with the same people. It doesn't mean you have to hang out. Like you can still distance yourself, but you're allowed to be friendly.
Yeah.
If it's Ariana and Tom, no.
No.
What do you think?
I kind of think no. I mean, like, and it's different if you're in a group of friends being civil towards each other and being nice, but like being friends, I think there's always this little seed inside both of them that they like either don't acknowledge or they do acknowledge that like, oh, I just think it's hard to erase it. But again, there are statute of limitations. So it's been like 15 years. I think that's fair. You can do it.
Right.
But if it's recent, within the past 6 years, I would give it. I mean, I just don't see how it would work.
I think you can be in the same friend group, but not friends.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like examples in the Bravo world. I mean, like Kristen and Sandoval were friends, but they were like friendly. It was still friend group. They're not hanging out just the two of them.
Yeah. And they're not texting each other for like relationship advice or like day-to-day stuff or anything like that.
I mean, Scheana's still best friends with all of her exes.
With Adam.
She's still tight. She's like friendly with Mike Shea, I've heard.
Oh, that's good.
I actually think that's good too. I heard that Shay's mom passed away and Scheana was invited to the funeral.
Oh.
But she like couldn't go because she was doing something. I don't know.
Oh, Scheana.
Yeah, it was something. It was like a real thing. I don't remember what it was. It like could have been like her wedding weekend.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. I'll benefit of the doubt.
Let's talk about paintball.
Boo.
It was kind of a boring scene, really. There's not much to say. Brock wore a t-shirt and shorts paintballing. That is psychotic behavior. All Katie wants is loyalty and consistency in a friendship, and LaLa is neither of those things.
Mm-hmm.
She changes her stance on her friends with every interview she does. She never thinks she does anything wrong. Just shit we've been talking about this whole time. It's so like lame to me though that it's like the girls show up to paintball just so they can have a 1 minute long talking conversation.
A gossip sesh while
Yeah.
they're doing paintball. I think everyone should have done paintball. I that scares me shitless. The whole thing, I don't like it. Like, I have high anxiety. I just, the thought of like getting shot and guns. I know they're paint. I know it's paint.
Well, I'm
It
really
still
glad
freaks me
you
out.
brought this up because I have a paintball story.
Oh, thank God.
I haven't told many stories this
Teed ya up.
episode. I went paintballing for a friend's birthday. It was really fun, but we like layered the fuck up on clothes and still had welts like through my skin.
I can't.
So the fact that a lot of these guys were like barely wearing anything was crazy. But you could buy like extras. So you buy like the paint, the balls, and the gun and whatever. But you could buy extra things, and they had a paint grenade, and it was basically like almost like a water balloon filled with paint. It looked like a grenade. And you could like throw it in an opponent. I unfortunately had never got the chance to throw it to my opponent. So at the very end when like our game was over, I like needed to see this thing explode. So I pegged it. I like slammed it up against the tree as hard as I could. But I didn't throw it hard enough and it bounced off the tree back at me and exploded all over me.
Oh, please say there's video of it.
It was no, but I lived to tell the tale.
Bummer.
It was funny.
It was so funny. I always think of 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, I haven't really seen that movie in quite some time. I don't even remember.
It might be like
paintball
my
scene.
favorite of all time.
It's a great movie.
It's a great
Oh,
film.
he's such a cutie. I remember when I first saw that, I was convinced that Heath Ledger and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were twins. They not look like they have the same face?
I do not see that.
They
Well,
don't have
okay,
the same
hold on,
face. In
hold
that
on, hold on.
movie, they have the same face.
Hold on. The face thing, I'm thinking of him with the hair and the other hair. So let me think. Okay, you might have something. I would have to look it up.
I'm literally looking it up. Oh my God. Just in this picture. Tell me that is not the same face.
Okay, that does look photoshopped.
And
It
Julia
looks like-
Stiles. Honestly, they kind of all look like
Oh
they
my
have
God.
the same
Do
face.
you know who that is?
Yeah, I thought he was so
The
hot.
cult leader. He started a cult
He
in
did?
Venice. Andrew Keegan, is that his name?
I think you're right. He was on Full House.
Yes.
He's a cult leader?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's full on cult.
That's that basement he brought me to.
The
one
liquor.
time?
I don't. Oh God, something in Venice.
Oh, rumors. Okay, I'm gonna look that up later. We're getting off topic. When Rachel edits this, she's gonna be like, "These bitches went so off topic." Oh my God, this is why we're all going on a bye week for Coachella because the amount of shit she has to cut out.
Go down the rabbit hole. Andrew Keegan, TikTok, cult rumors?
I'm
Question mark.
so excited.
Yeah, I know.
For those of
are.
you that
won't
like,
be sleeping tonight.
for those of you that like the Gabbity, like this is a really good Gabbity
This is a great
episode.
Gabbity
Or a
episode.
Gabbity episode. All right, the final scene we did kind of briefly talk about like Tom and Joe Vidal.
Oh no! Oh God, this scene,
Joe tells Tom to shut the fuck up.
which is great.
That was sick. It was sick. I think that I've just had written down she's now finally dealing with what Katie's been dealing with all of these years. I do think Tom is being a fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate that he is looking Joe right in the eye and saying he doesn't want a relationship and he is hooking up with other people, even though he is saying it like a 3-year-old
Like an
boy.
asshole.
Like, but Joseph, I don't want a relationship right now.
I'm getting numbers. I'm hooking up
Joseph,
with people.
I am hooking up with other people. Joseph, what? There's nothing in here. I almost put it. It's just, yeah, it's like, at least he's saying it. I did clock that this is the 3rd time that Joe has run out of somewhere crying.
Bless her sweetheart.
She ran out of Hotel Ziggy. She ran out of Sky Bar. And she ran out of Tom's.
It was a rough year.
Not
for
many
Joe.
people run out of places crying. I don't know if that's like her shtick.
I felt bad this one. Oh, when she said, I'm like, I need to call my dad. I was like, oh, I feel that so bad. Oh, it's just so sad.
Okay, to play devil's advocate.
I know.
There's a piece of me that makes me think like she's like doing this to make us feel bad.
Oh,
Like the fact that she keeps running out and she's like, everyone's being so mean to me or whatever. It's like,
I'm known to be a sucker for people. So I feel badly really easily. So that could be true.
to play devil's advocate on my devil's advocate though, she's not used to reality TV. And I do think
She's new to this.
If I was put in a high pressure situation, my instinct would be to leave the room.
She's sitting cross-legged in her talking head. You know, she's brand new to this.
Yeah, I like that though, actually.
I do
She
too.
looked chill.
Yeah, she's matches the vibe.
If I were Katie watching this back, I would feel so fucking validated because imagine how pissed you would be if you like, not only your ex got in a new relationship pretty quickly after you, but you also had to watch all of it go down on TV. And then on top of that, imagine if he was like a good partner. I'd be so mad. So the fact that he is a bad partner, if I were Katie, I'd be like, this is exactly why I divorced.
Also, ladies, this is a reminder that when you get out of a bad relationship, don't be jealous of the next person they get. Feel sorry for
They're
them.
literally cleaning up the mess, and sometimes the mess cannot be cleaned.
It's gonna be the same problems. Like, bless their hearts, you know?
Can Tom Schwartz not say real names in serious like situations? Like when he was chasing her out of the hallway, he's like, Joseph. And like even when him and Katie would fight, it was Bubba. And on Winter House, Floody. Like, what does he call Tori? Pinky?
I think he needs copious amounts of therapy.
Just call them by their freaking
I think
real
it's a
name.
therapy thing. He clearly has like a coping problem with stressful situations.
He can't take anything
do it.
seriously.
Yeah. I think it's a shutdown. I think it's a safety mechanism for him. He just like will shut down with humor and mask it. That's what I think. But I'm no psychologist.
All right, so for our question of the week this week, again, if you don't know, we ask a question every week. We may even do 2 questions this week since we're recapping the Valley. Our Instagram handle is Girls Unscripted Pod. And the question for you guys is, does Katie have a right to be upset with LaLa for hanging with Joe? Again, we're going to post that on our Instagram. We want you to comment. We love hearing your thoughts because
Sound off.
like her and I, we could say as much as we want, but we want to hear what the people have to say.
We want to be fair judges.
All right, hit us with the ASMR this week, girl.
Can I also just say, brutal on our we're getting great reviews and it's so nice. And thank you everyone who's rated and subscribed. It's amazing.
I know what you're going to say, and I was hoping you didn't see this comment.
Oh, yes. But okay, well, I have a counter to it.
We'll say the comment first.
It was savage that we didn't get a 5, we got a 4 because of the ASMR. I mean, that knocked it down a whole star.
What did they say? That they hate the ASMR, so they stopped
So
listening?
they stopped listening at the end.
Look, I'm going to be honest. When I was doing the ASMR, I hated doing it, but I like it when you do it. I think it's really funny.
On the counter argument is someone else on the comments said, I fucking love the ASMR.
It's funny because it's in order is that I hate ASMR, and literally like the next comment is like, the ASMR is my favorite part.
You can't win them all,
You really
guys.
can't win them all, but we love the honesty.
So yeah, so if you don't like the ASMR, I guess see you later.
Let's say goodbye to that one listener
Yeah.
right now. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
All right, now for that one listener that loves the ASMR, this one's for
Hey,
you.
girl. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to the ASMR. If you could just sit back, relax. Catherine is going to sleep. I feel like my voice is shaking.
She's nervous.
I'm so nervous. It's like seeing a ghost, but like a bitchy ghost. Like a ghost. That's a bitch. That's it, everyone.
Wait, I want to guess who said that.
Who said it?
Is it a man?
Nope.
Stassi?
No, I thought it was going to be Stassi too.
Who is
It's said about Stassi.
Oh, who said it?
Sheena.
That's a good line.
Isn't
for
it a good
Sheena.
line for Sheena? I know.
wouldn't-
She doesn't have many good
I wouldn't have guessed.
like, ringer quotes, but there it is. There you have it.
There you have it. And I feel like this was like a pretty good recap of this episode. I think that are you mocking me?
I think we went all over the place in a great way. I loved it.
You know why I think
Let's
it was
see how
You
they
know
like
why
it.
I think it was a good recap?
The shot.
Because we drank.
Do we have to do that?
Maybe.
We're not as interested.
But then we're gonna listen to it back sober, and it's going to.
We're
make
gonna be
no
so upset
sense.
tomorrow. Rachel's gonna kill us.
She can handle it.
She can handle it. She's a tough cookie.
She's very tough. Bye. Let's send them out. All right, everybody. That's our episode. As always, I want to be a corny little bitch and thank you all for listening and for watching and for all of the rates and reviews, even the negative review about the ASMR. You still gave us 4 stars.
And we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, we do. We're still doing the ASMR.
We're still going to do it.
But really, like, we would not be doing this podcast if it wasn't for everybody listening and the fact that we, like, love this show and we genuinely love doing this.
Did we tell them we charted this week?
No, we didn't. Tell them.
Guys, we're on Apple charts this week. I don't know if we still are, but we were like up as far as like 117 under TV and film.
Yeah, which was pretty awesome. The only reason that I even knew about it is because someone on TikTok told me in the comments.
And we were above like big names.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We were above Bethany.
Yeah, we were right next to Kristen Cavallari.
We were next to Kristen Cavallari.
And that, I mean, I know that shit like fluctuates all the time, but for us, like we said earlier, the reason that we're taking a bye week, we record on Wednesdays, we edit on Thursdays, we listen down, we post everything ourselves on Fridays. Like, we do this completely by ourselves. Rachel, our producer and editor, does this for free. We do this after work. It's pitch black outside. So, like, for us to be so small and scrappy and to be on Apple charts is, like, really cool.
Bananas. Like, just seeing our little thumbnail that we made and put together.
Well, and you know what I loved about it is, like, it would be, like, the podcast name and then their network. So, it would be, like, podcast iHeart, podcast Dear Media. And then it was, like, Girls Unscripted. Girls Unscripted.
It was just us.
Because we're our own network.
We're our own. Oh, fuck. That's so cool.
It was
We're
cool.
the next Nick
cool.
Viall production
So
series.
thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you not next week, but the week after.
Well, and we're going to do a Valley episode after this.
Yes. So stay tuned.
So stay tuned. Thanks.
Bye.